Many logos use lines as an effective graphic element. The style of the line, the weight of the line, the color of the line, the number of lines, and how the lines interact with the type are just some variables. Lines can underscore a name, direct the eye, form barriers, suggest connections, or indicate movement. So here are 4 techniques for working with lines. Firstly, don't underestimate the power of a simple underscore. In this case, the underscore is actually a rectangle, and I'm going to draw the rectangle so that it is the weight of the horizontal stroke of the type. So I'm actually going to draw it over the type to make sure I can match it to the type. I want to make sure it has a fill rather than a stroke, so I'll switch those properties. And then in terms of spacing it relative to the type, I'm going to use the weight of the rule as a spacer. So I'll make a copy of that holding down Shift and Alt or Option. And then I'll move this one that I originally drew down like so. I can delete that spacer. And there's the weight of my rule. I might decide, as I did above, that I want the weight of the rule to be twice what it currently is. So I'll just select it. I'll come to the Transform panel, come to the Height property, make sure that the Constrain Width and Proportions property is not checked. And then I'll just type in an *2. Secondly, we could have the line be a more organic, more painterly line. And this I created with the brush tool. So I'm just going to recreate that like so. Maybe I want to apply a different style of brush to it. How would it look with a 10-point flat? And then perhaps I want to come to my calligraphic brush options, and I can adjust the angle and the roundness of that brush and also its size until I get something that I like. And I gotta say, I don't really like that too much. But how would it look if we had some sort of artistic treatment applied to it? We have a number of different options in our brush library. Thirdly, we could think about using lines as a way of conveying perspective. In this example, I want the lines to convey train tracks. So I'm going to start with simply 2 grouped rectangles on a red triangle, and then come to my Free Transform panel, to the Free Distort option, and then distort these to create some sort of drama with the perspective, like so. Just to finish this one off, I would want to make sure that I don't have these solid white areas overlapping the triangle. So I'm going to select the triangle, copy that, select the rectangles, paste in front, Command or Control F, hold down my Shift key, and then come and select the rectangles, and then make that into a clipping mask from the Object menu. Clipping mask, make. And then lastly, we could create an effect like this, where we have a series or blend of lines that overlaps a shape. I'll start out with the line tool. Let's make the stroke of that line black. And I'm going to now duplicate that line, holding down Option or Alt and the Shift key, dragging away from it. I'll then come to my blend tool and blend from one point on the line to the equivalent point on the line. Double click on the blend tool to specify the blending options. Now currently I have a specified number of steps. That is in fact what I want, but you may start out with this option, smooth color, in which case you'll have this effect, not what we want. Specified steps, I'm going to go a few fewer than that. Let's try 40. Now we have a number of different ways that we can mix this up. Perhaps I could make the top line a lighter weight if we go from a 0.25, and then I'll make the bottom line a heavier weight to a 2 point. We get a blend in the weight. I could also experiment with color. I could change the angle on the whole blend, etc. I could have the blend only go over part of the shape. And ultimately, we want to confine the blend to within the shape. Just one other option though before I do that. I'm going to back up by pressing Command Z a couple of times just to get back to my uniform strokes. So I have 1 point stroke blending to a 1 point stroke. I'm now going to change the width profile on this. And I'm going to use width profile number 4. And we will blend to width profile number 4. And sometimes that does not work, and it's not worked there. So I need to select both of those and then come and change them both together to my width profile. But now what I'm going to do is come and select that circle, copy that, select the blend, paste the circle in front of the blend, hold down the Shift key and select the blend and circle together and make that into a clipping mask.